Would you like to know more? Welcome to War Master Podcast, episode 39 of Adventures in 3D Printing. Today we're looking at Forest Dragon Household Guard, which are from the March Patreon. I'm a little bit behind the times in my printing and etc. But we're starting to catch up a little bit now. So we've got Household Guard, who are actually men-at-arms in the game, who are effectively halberdiers. So 6-up units of 345 points, cheap as chips. The Empire halberdiers don't have shoes. Obviously, these are working for men of means, and so the lords can afford to buy them armor, including shoes. So good for them. There's a motif of lions running through the shields and the banners. There are alternative banners with, I think, fleur-de-lis or something on it. But these, as Paul has already pointed out, will make excellent Lannisters if you are playing the Westeros game, because these shields are very Lannistery. So, what's going on with me? I'm not sure what's going. I've changed to a newer version of Cura, so that's cut out the need to having to slice the files in the Anycubic, whatever that workshop rubbish is, Photon Workshop. But something's weird happening on the basing. There's kind of like a rafting effect going on, and I don't know if I've cleaned the vat out, the resin vat, and maybe that'll cure the problem. But yeah, they didn't come out. These and the next ones I'm going to film didn't come out perfectly, and the issue seemed to be around the base, not the miniatures themselves. So don't know what's going on with that. One thing I will point out is there were an unusual amount of supports on these miniatures. It took quite a while to clear off, which is, I mean, it's not. I mean, you'd prefer, if it was a choice between a failed miniature and having to clean off a few extra supports, then obviously you'd rather clean off the extra supports. But it did take a considerable amount of time to clean the supports off these, and so I'm probably going to go on record as saying there are probably too many supports on these miniatures, or maybe it could have been designed with slightly less supports. I mean, each shield had 2 supports on them. And there were many items like swords with many supports on them. I don't know. You can actually see here between the shield and the halberd there's a support there. Now, when it's printed upside down, the halberd's quite thick and it's printing this way. You could definitely probably need a support on the tip of this halberd here, if you can see where my finger's pointing. But does the halberd need to be supported from the shield? I don't know. I'm not an expert, but I would have thought that the halberd staff is thick enough. But there's probably a little bit of overhang there. I don't know. You'd hope that people aren't putting on supports just for the sake of putting on supports. But when it comes to clearing up miniatures, and if you've bought them professionally produced and you have to clear them after the fact, I mean, obviously, the less supports on the better. Okay, running down the back of these fellas, my gluing technique, the adhesion on the tape seems to go away after undercoating. So, all very pleasant, these guys. I mean, the actual GW Bretonians were remarkably difficult to get a hold of. Obviously, you can get historical ranges with this kind of miniature from countless different manufacturers. But it's nice to have them on strips. Okay, and then we've got, what's next? We've got the rest of these fellows and a hero. So we've got these like stringy artifacts are from the undercoating there, not from printing. So nice dynamic poses. I think these were the ones here. So if you see this sword here, I don't know why we needed so many supports on the sword. And you can't get supports off without doing damage. So as careful as I was cleaning the supports off, there were a lot of supports on the swords. And it looks like on camera that's quite a big remnant of support, but on the actual miniature it's minuscule. And I don't know how you get it off any cleaner than that when the thing is cured. Okay, and then here we have, on the end, we have a sword, what do they call them? Enchantress on a unicorn. The obligatory unicorn, because it gives you +1 attack, and it gives you +1 to 1 casting roll. So it's like 2 for the price of 1. So why wouldn't you take one on all your enchantresses? I don't know is the answer. Maybe they're listed up 1,000. I don't think they are. I think, no, they're not. Let's have a look. Well, I've got that thing open. I think it's, yeah, 1 per 1,000. And the enchantress is 1 per 1,000. So if you're taking enchantresses and you've got any spare points whatsoever, stick them on a unicorn. You get a bit of double bubble. And the spell list is pretty good. So you're going to be taking 2 and cheap as chips. Then we got the banners. I've only undercoated the... Oh, I've undercoated one of each. So I'll show you how that works. So we got a hero here with a nice chunky sword, and he's carrying his banner. Very, oh, that's so lovely. Look at that barding there on that horse. That's fantastic. And then we have the 2 different types of banner stands. So if you can imagine this stand here repeated with this banner design, and this stand here repeated with that banner design, that's your 4 command choices. So obviously if you're going to not use fleur-de-lis or whatever these ones are, just use all the lion motifs, you'd only have 2 different variant banners, but that's no big deal at all. So you've got this guy here with a gigantic sword. Oh my god. I'm going to have to revise my wash, because you can see it's struggling to get the residue out here. I've tried to do less water-based residue, less water-based washing, and then do a final wash on IPA to try and speed up the drying process. But there's too much residue being left here, so I think I'm going to have to go to... Yes, you have to... On my wash and cure machine, I have to do about 12 minutes of water-based washing to make sure I get most of the residue off it. I tried to shortcut it by using some IPA washing. So wash it in water and then wash it in IPA, but it's not doing a good enough job. So I'm going to have to do more washing in water and then maybe a final wash in IPA. Now, even though this looks rough as dog poop here, in actual reality, these miniatures are so small, I'm not sure you can actually see any of that residue. Or if you could, I'm not sure it would show up in any kind of detail. But when you're going at the magnification I'm going at here, I have to point it out because it's clearly visible. So good stuff. I'm a little bit behind on my printing of this Forest Dragon stuff, so I'm going to have to pick up the pace. Maybe I'll probably have to dedicate 1 video a week just to printing out his stuff. But yeah, I mean, why wouldn't I? So let's get on. So the next one I'm going to do is a new one. I'm going to be doing some Chaos Dwarf models, and that video will be coming up probably tomorrow if I release this one today. So these are your household guard. You can pick those up. Look at that rubbish there. Must try harder. F-. And I'll speak to you next time.